You're listening to the Handcrafted Therapy Podcast with massage therapist and business owner, Julie Alexander. That's me. I'm your host. I've been a massage therapist for 17 years, and I have a business marketing degree. On this podcast, we'll be interviewing industry professionals that can talk to us about how to run your business better, how to be a better massage therapist overall, and how to take care of yourself and give yourself a little love, a little self-care, little grace in your life. I am so glad that you're here. Thanks so much for joining us today. Thank you so much, Amy and Christina, for joining us from Emerald Bodywork. This is a very relaxed podcast. I want you to feel comfortable. I don't even put makeup on. Like, this is me. I'm sorry, people that are listening, if you're watching me, but I'm all natural. This is me. You're going to get raw Julie. So, and I hope that Amy and Christina, that you're raw as well and just honest and upfront, because we want to be as truthful and as open and transparent as possible with our audience. And I think that you ladies encompass that as well in your business. So I've never interviewed two people at the same time. So I'm hoping that...
First time for everything.
Yeah, I'm hoping that y'all can help me figure out who's going to answer, because I'm just going to throw out the questions and you guys can figure out who's the bad, I guess.
We're used to volleying. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
good.
That's kind of how we work.
Good. Well, that's perfect. Well, can you introduce yourselves to us and tell us a little bit about how we met?
I'll go first. So I'm Amy Scottino. I met Miss Julie through a meetup group in North Texas, a massage meetup group that meets once a month on Mondays. But I never met you in person. I just met you through the private Facebook group that they have and the comments and the conversations that happen. And then I stalked you a little bit. We can get into that later.
So I met you at our 1-year celebration for Emerald Bodywork education. Yeah. So Amy and I decided that we wanted to have as much networking partners show up and represent themselves. And we love to create situations where people can rub elbows and exchange business cards and get to know each other. That's what business is about. And so Amy invited you, and you were a great asset to have that evening. And yeah, you represent a market that Dallas has been needing. And so I was super excited to meet you because I'd been hearing the buzz and I'd seen the podcast. So that's how I met you, was when Amy drug you into our space and said, hey, bring a door prize. And you did.
Well, I was so grateful to be invited, and I was happy to donate. No problem. I was happy to support you both and your business. And I'm very excited that you celebrated 1 year. Can you tell us a little bit more about your business and what you're doing with it? Because you've got some really amazing things that you're doing that I think need to be shared with the rest of the world, to be honest.
So I guess the birth of Emerald needs to start first.
Oh, gosh.
Yeah. So we both met teaching at a massage school in North Texas, North Dallas, and continuing education educators or classes, even before the pandemic, were pretty scarce. So we were at the school trying to get continuing education classes out there and promoted, but it seemed challenging. So after pandemic, we were tired of waiting. I know I was, of classes that just couldn't get out there for everybody because there's a lot of massage therapists in North Texas. So we were like, hey, let's do this on our own. So we, based on knowing other massage therapists and practitioners, found spaces to rent in the Dallas area with classes that we either created or have already created. And people showed up to them. People paid for them and showed up to them and learned. And we're like, okay, well, this could be a thing. That was September 2021.
It was.
Yeah. And then Emerald just started to be this train that we could barely stay on, which is good. Every class that we would schedule either had students in it or got filled with students in it. And so just it kind of is this train that we're trying to keep up with. So we're trying to give more advanced education. But in addition to that, we are trying to create a massage community that can support each other and help each other grow and learn and be the best. You probably have a little bit better articulation than I do on that subject.
Yeah. My line always is Amy and I are of the same breed when it comes to this philosophy. When there's something that you're looking for and you simply can't find it, then you just need to make it yourself. And we wanted a community where massage therapists could come together and collaborate and learn and support one another. And we weren't finding it, We wanted more quality in continuing education. We wanted new therapists to feel like they had resources beyond massage school, and we were having difficulty finding that. So we created it as instructors in the foundational program at a massage school. We just felt like we were sending these little babies out into the abyss, I mean, really. Yeah. And I think a lot of massage therapy instructors feel that way. So we created this thing that we wanted, and it's Emerald Bodywork education.
That makes my heart so happy. And I might get a little emotional here because, I mean, all that you just said, Christina, I got to say everything and she did articulate it very well, Amy, not that you didn't, but she just explained exactly why I'm opening the business I'm opening. And it is a very passionate thing to put out on the line everything you have to create a new business. And I hope other business owners listen to this and can relate to this, that, you find this need in the community for something and you have this desire and know that it's needed. And then, when I show up at events like yours, where I'm surrounded by people that are encouraging me and lifting me up and helping me drive through all those obstacles that I'm having, trying to get this business open and running, it just makes life better. It's like the icing on the cake or whatever phrase you want to use. It's just so much better when we all get together, whether it's women-owned businesses or massage therapists or whatever group of people are talking about, small businesses and the chambers of commerce. Whatever it is, it's just so nice to be able to have a community. And I've talked about her so many times on my podcast. I feel like I'm overdoing this subject, but no. I don't think it's spoken enough.
So I want to input there just a little bit because we also, I'm not trying to advertise. I'm just it's a segue. We have a mentorship program for anybody that needs help. And I'm finding, you probably see it too, on those Facebook groups, the massage therapy Facebook groups, people are asking advice and this and that. And then I private message them and they're talking about competition or I don't want to be too close to other massage therapists. And we see it the opposite. In my building that I rent from, there are literally in a span of couple feet, there's 4 massage therapists besides me. And we refer to each other. Why can't it be like that and not seen as competition?
Yeah, absolutely. And we talked about that at your open house. I mean, it was so cool to be around other people just like that. And, when I became a massage therapist, that was in, what year was that? I'm 7. And I remember thinking to myself, because I came from marketing, corporate America, and I remember thinking to myself that this industry is, I need to choose my words carefully here. I mean, it was looked down upon. Let's put it that way. It was a second-class citizen. We were right above prostitution.
That's real.
I'm being real. Let's be real and honest here. I mean, that's what I thought about it when I went into this business. And I joined the American Massage Therapy Association, or the AMTA. And I remember looking through their stuff online and looking at their classes and literally thinking to myself, these are the kind of people I need to be around. These are the kind of classes I need to take. This is the kind of organization. And AMTA is one of a couple, 3 or 4 different ones. I related to the AMTA the most. That doesn't make it the best. I think it's the best, but other people might think otherwise of different programs. Anyway, the point I'm trying to make is that at the national convention, my first CEU class, my first ever trade show for massage therapists, I remember looking out on the trade show floor, and there was a woman that was working the desk that came up and stood next to me and just introduced herself. She was an older massage therapist, a seasoned massage therapist. And she was like, "Are you okay? Are you looking for something in particular?" And I was like, "I'm just so thankful. Gosh, I'm really emotional, I'm just so thankful that I found my people. I found my people, and we're not prostitutes, and we're professionals." And I felt like that with you guys as well in your space. And, I don't think there's enough people out there that really appreciate and understand our industry. And I don't know that they ever will in our lifetime. Hopefully they will. And hopefully we are making the charge as healthcare professionals to make that change in our society, to have them look at us as true healthcare professionals in our industry. Sorry, that was a whole different path I wanted to take.
I love it. But you bring up a good point, because I got my license, state board exam in 2002. So the industry has morphed and changed in a way that I could never see it being that way. I never thought that I could ever work in a hospital or volunteer in a hospital, and I can. 2002, you either worked at a spa or you were independent. There was no other gray area. Mm-hmm. So it's phenomenal what has been happening, I feel.
Yeah. Yeah. And I do think that we are going to see that change. I use a little tagline in a lot of our posts: educate and elevate, and that's what it's about, is the more that we educate our people, therapists, on how to be professional, how to communicate effectively, how to communicate with people in the healthcare industry, then people outside of our field begin to see us as legitimate healthcare providers. And I think I'm seeing that turn. I really do. And I just had a conversation with a classroom of students yesterday. And I just told them, I said, you personally get to determine the future of our profession. How will you conduct yourself so that the profession that you're giving your life to is seen as legitimate, credible, and something to be documented historically important? So each therapist gets to determine that. And I really impress that upon my students. So
yeah, you get to teach our new colleagues.
Yes, I still teach at the foundational program, and it's so hard to let go of them.
So I did want to talk a little bit about the mentorship program that you have launched. And I want to talk a little bit about, I do want you to promote yourself. Tell me about what you've got going on that you want to promote, and what should people know about what Emerald Bodywork is doing? What do we need to go to? What do we need to sign up for? What classes are coming up? Tell me about your mentorship program. Tell me everything.
That's a giant can of worms.
How much time do you have?
Because when we think we have about 10 seconds, we come up with 4 hours more of things to do. All right. Oh, gosh. Well, so you can go to our website and see all the things. So we're constantly adding classes. So it's just emeraldbodyworkeducation.com. But we have a couple things coming up in January. I was just talking to some friends yesterday. Everybody's about, new year, new me, right? And so there's a couple of things that we think are really important as far as the therapist taking care of themselves so that they can care for others. And it seems that in January, that's when people start thinking about, okay, what am I going to do better this year? Right. So we have a therapist guide to self-care class that we're doing. Then we also have a book discussion. It's like a little 3-hour book discussion. We're trying to bring more people into the space on a regular basis. And so we think just having people come in for a little roundtable conversation would be a great way to do that. There's a book called The Educated Heart that we absolutely love. And it's a book about boundaries, establishing boundaries, maintaining boundaries, specifically for body workers. And we held a little book club on it last year and got a little traction. And I talk about that book every opportunity I get. So yeah, we got a little book club going there. So that's January is the therapist taking care of the therapist. And then you go.
Oh, yes.
February is a big deal.
So February is going to come next, but I have to talk about our first guest instructor. So we are going to try in 2023, at least every quarter, we hope, to get a guest instructor to come into our space and teach something that we're not qualified to teach. That's really it. So end of January, a gentleman named Jason Bratcher is going to come in and teach Omi Lomi Hawaiian Temple Bodywork. And it's a 3-day intensive class. And we felt like it would be really great in January because it is very transformative and renewing based on the conversations that we've had with him. So we figured it'd be a great way if somebody's feeling burnt out just to come in and recharge and get going back into their practice. Yeah. February, I don't know why I picked February, but February is our lymphatic month. Every Tuesday in February, we are doing a lymphatic drainage class. So the first Tuesday is, of course, you got to know lymphatic drainage. So it's just teaching you how to do that. And then after that, we're doing post-cosmetic lymphatic drainage, if that's something people need or want. And then to add more skill level on that, we're going to do lymphatic taping and cupping. So the elastic tapes and the sliding cups. And then the end of the month, we're going to do advanced lymphatic drainage for abdomen and breast because there is a need for that in the lymphatic drainage realm that is not being met. So, and then every month after that, we got at least a class every Tuesday.
Yeah.
At least. So
we're kind of busy.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds incredibly busy. I'm so glad you broke that down because that's a lot of stuff that you're doing. And I'm so thankful for you guys in our community to provide all these wonderful outlets for massage therapists. Can you take just a minute to explain to us in very clear terms what lymphatic drainage is? Because not all of our listeners may know.
Okay, so lymphatic drainage is manually being the pump for your lymphatic system because it has no pump of its own. It relies on cardiovascular flow or the beat of your heart and muscle contraction. So it's kind of important and it houses your immune system and your waste removal system. So it's pretty important.
Awesome. Thank you for that. And everybody needs it, not just people who are post-cancer that have lost their lymph nodes. Everybody needs this kind of lymphatic drainage, right? So you can reach more people in your marketing efforts as a massage therapist if you add this to your toolbox, correct?
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah. And Amy does probably more lymphatic drainage than I do, but I love to incorporate it into all kinds of sessions. So even though someone may be coming to me for orthopedic massage, we're probably going to throw in a little lymphatic here and there, so because we need it, everybody needs it. So, and I would have to say that for several years in being a massage therapist, I didn't give a lot of credit to manual lymphatic drainage. And then this girl came along and I needed that. I needed lymphatic drainage whenever we were traveling. And so she just did a little quick session and I was like, okay, I have to learn this magic. What is this? And so, you have to experience it and be a part of the class and dig a little deeper. I think there's a lot of therapists out there like me that was like, Oh yeah, there's that. There. Oh, I don't know. It's something about the lymphatic system, but it's a great tool to add to your toolbox to just create more validity for your clients. So
Thank you. I totally agree with that. I'm a deep tissue kind of massage therapist. So I do a lot of, elbow work. I do a lot of cupping. I do meta cupping. I mean, I'm in there, right? I'm I'm pounding the massage table, getting people out, sports massage, that kind of thing. And I was under the same belief that lymphatic drainage was for wimps and that, you can't really feel anything and it's not doing anything. But that's not the case at all. And there is a lot of validity in helping us be that pump that helps move the system better, move the lymph better. I actually did a little bit yesterday on somebody who had some sinus drainage issues going on, just a little lymph drainage in the face. And she actually immediately lost some of her puffiness
yeah,
from that sinus problem. So I completely agree. I do think that it's a great tool to have. And there are a lot of clients that come in and say, my doctor told me I need lymphatic drainage. And that's a huge thing in our industry for a doctor to say, you need a massage therapist to do something for you. That is what we want them to tell us. We want to.
Honestly, I think the first time I heard this, I think my eye started leaking the first time I heard this. I couldn't even stop it. I was just like, huh? Yeah. Okay, we can.
yeah. But again, us finding modalities and communicating in a professional way so that the healthcare industry sees that we're not just this fluff and buff spa thing. We are actually a very useful and necessary adjunct to what they do. And we're seeing it. We're seeing it. It's turning. We have to get more therapists out there.
It's true. And when we have a good environment to foster those new baby massage therapists, and I know, so cute.
Little babies.
Well, and I think that's why the mentorship came to be.
Yeah.
Because in our classes we were teaching, because that's kind of new.
Yeah.
For our company. Mm-hmm. In our classes, people would ask us on breaks or afterwards, okay, well, what about this? Or I'm trying to do this. How would I approach this? And not to say that we're trying to take all the money from everybody, but our time is worth just like everybody else. And that's what we preach to everybody, right? Even if you're right out of school, you are worth the money that you ask for. Mm-hmm. And so we had to put some kind of fee to it. And so that's kind of how it came to be, because we want to help people succeed, but we also have to kind of pay some bills. Yeah. It's just it's to cultivate.
Yeah.
It's to help them see that they have this potential to do whatever it is that they're wanting to do. And if we don't have the resources to help them, we will find them.
Yeah. And that marketing piece, we saw that time and time again. People would take a class to learn a new modality that they haven't been doing. And one of the first questions was, I love this. How on earth do I find people to do this modality on? Like, well, where do I do this? How do I find the people? And we were like, well, it's marketing. That's how you do it. Well, how do I market?
And then your class
where do I start? Yeah. And then we started with growing your business with chair massage and how you get your chair out there. Because gosh, and actually I think growing your business with chair massage started with me at the gym one day, watching a girl standing beside a massage chair. If you're listening, sweetheart, I love you and we can talk more later. But she was just standing there watching people walk by. And that was her version of marketing. And I was like, oh, there are so many things that she could be doing right now. And she could be benefiting her business. All I'm really seeing her do is grow moss, in the presence of all these people that are potential clients. And so I was like, okay, so we're going to put something together and we're going to start learning how to talk to people and how to do person-to-person marketing and how to giver's gain. What does that mean? How do I
Working in your flame.
Yes.
love
How do
that
I
one.
work in my flame
Yes.
instead of my wax? And are you a farmer or what's the
Gather?
term?
No.
Dang it.
Wait,
Hold on. We know this one. Oh, are you a farmer or a hunter?
there you go.
So these are all questions that we answer in Growing Your Business with Chair Massage. And then the whole mentor thing started. Yeah. So there you have it.
We try to only see between myself and Christina, maybe 1 to 2
Mentees?
No,
Are they mentees?
Yes.
that doesn't sound right.
Mentor,
Alright.
mentee. Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
There you
Yeah.
go.
It sounds really.
A month.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
A couple
Because
of
we want to
months.
give them the person like one-on-one time
Mhm.
that they deserve.
Yeah. So we have one-on-one meetings with them usually once a week. That's kind of the model that has been happening. And then we're just available to them, text message, email, whatever. I've got a girl that I'm working with right now, and I kind of give her, we always do this. We give you homework assignments. And so, okay, what's your focus? Here's your homework assignment. Let's come back next week. Let's talk about how that went. How did you feel about it? What have you done to move towards your goal this week? It's always good to have someone hold you accountable. But her homework assignment was to create a few introductory letters and promote, and how will you be promoting this? Who will you be talking to? And so she sent me some of her documentation that she had written, and she emailed it to me, and I just took a quick look. Yep, looks good. Hey, you might want to switch this, whatever. So it's not just that once a week meeting. It's we're available to you the course of whatever package you purchase. So during that time frame, we're available to you, and we try not to take on too many mentees
There you go.
at a time so that we can stay consistent with that availability.
And do you think it's important for a new massage therapist that's starting their business to figure out what their niche is?
And I see both sides of the coin on this one. I really do. Because I feel like it depends on where you are working. I really do. As an independent massage therapist, if you're out on your own, I feel like that is a crucial aspect to a marketing aspect of your massage practice for a special population or special demographic. But at least from my own experience working in a facility, didn't seem to help me when I have a niche. And I did when I worked at I was an oncology massage therapist and I was a manual lymphatic drainage therapist. Didn't really help me in the facilities that I've worked in. So that's my take on it. But what about you, Ms. Christina?
I do think a lot of it depends on where you're working. So when I opened my first practice, I was in a town of 7,000 people and I was the only game in town. So my niche was I do massage, So yeah,
You pretty much were good.
yeah. I'm like, hi, I'm here. What do you need? I don't know how to do that, but I'll learn. Can you come back next month? So yeah, but I think, I always take my mentees back to a values assessment. So what's important to you? So when you want to establish a business, yes, a niche, I think that niche kind of comes along over time, but to a brand new therapist, what's important to you? Where do your values lie? Let's build your business around what's most important to you, and those clients that fit that will come to you.
They'll find you.
They'll find you. And then I think that niche kind of grows and creates itself over time.
I don't have a partner in my business, but I have 2 renters in my space. And it's taken a while for me to find renters that match my work style and my personality and my business, right? I've been open for 5 years and, I started with employees and then moved to a renter type situation. I had to mind shift that because, I expanded my business to hire people so I could have employees and then realized pretty quickly that that was not for me. And I think adaptability is really key especially when you plan. Planning is an awesome thing to do for your business. Everybody needs to do it, but just know that going into that plan, shit changes.
Yeah.
I mean, big stuff may happen. Pandemic,
Yes.
great example of that. I mean, being able to be adaptable, and I've said that over and over again in my podcast too. Sorry for the repetitive notes, but I'm trying to really explain that this is critical and important information to have going into your business is, yes, plan. Yes, talk about who your target market is. Yes, think about what your niche is. But know that the plan that you might set into action may have to change, and it may have to change quick. I mean, within a month of me opening my new place, both of my employees were no longer with me. And I either had to make a decision, okay, do I hire some new people? Do I rent the space out? I have clients on the books. Like, what do I do? And everybody's got a different answer for that question. And it depends on, the answer is always it depends, right? Depends on the situation. It depends on your clients. It depends on where you're at. If you're in a town of 7,000, okay, things might be different than if you're in Dallas, Texas,
Yeah. Absolutely.
It depends. But I love the idea and the notion of making a plan, and having a business plan is important too. I went to business school and did a whole business plan with other people in that plan that were, different. Okay, how do I put this? So my last project for my business degree was I was supposed to work with, or I did work with, other people that had other business degree sections. Like one was focused on the finance, I was marketing. So there were like 5 of us, and we all had to work together to come up with this business plan and then present it to this company, this real company. And we got real information from this real company about this, and we put this business plan together, and it was very in depth. Each person had their section of the plan. I want to tell people that, especially as a new business owner, that I understand business plans are intimidating and scary. And it can be very like, I don't know how to do this. But I want to share with you a resource that I've used in the past and I currently use now. It's called liveplan.com. I'm not getting paid to advertise LivePlan, but I've used it quite a bit. It's really simple. And that's what I like, is it just prompts you with questions. And some questions you might not be able to answer, and that's okay. But the questions that you do know make you think about where your business is headed and kind of helps lead you into that plan. So yeah, liveplan.com. There's some costs associated with it, but it's not very much.
I think a business plan is a very good idea because it kind of helps you get an idea of what realistically could be expected. So my business model for my massage practice, I know this is not what we're talking about right here, but I waited until 5 years ago. So again, I was licensed in 2002, and I waited until almost 6 years ago to go on my own because my business model said I need to save up for at least 3 years of paying rent and everything, which I did over the course of working for other people. But then I get in my practice, and for some reason, if it was timing, I don't know if it's me, I don't know what it was, but within 6 months, I was making a profit and being able to pay myself. So why did I wait all that time? Like, I was a little bit too rigid, in my idea or my model. So it can be good and bad.
I'm kind of intimidated by the word plan because I feel like as soon as I make a plan, everything changes. So, which everything changes regardless, right? I like to use the word framework because that reminds me that I don't have to be rigid. And, a house has a frame, but you can move walls and you can knock out walls and you can change the decor or whatever, but your framework is still there. So that business plan is a key part to the framework. But when you remember that it's not the end all be all, this is what I'd like to see. And this is where I'm going to kind of keep my stability in the thinking, but it's okay if I need to knock out a wall.
Just like anything in our modern world, it's not a brick and stone kind of a thing. It's not like set in stone. This is a live plan. It's a living, breathing thing. I know that's hard to imagine, but it is something that changes on a daily basis. As we know more information about, inventory management or pricing going up or whatever it is, you capture that in the live plan and it changes every day. So yes, framework is a great, whatever you need to do to make that, in your mind to capture what it is that you're looking for to make that plan. It's perfect. But I love the fact that you all have both created a very warm and welcoming space, not just your physical space. That's just the framework. But
there you go.
But you two make your business, just like I make my business. The two of you and your personality and your knowledge and your just warm hearts really open up a welcoming, loving, caring, safe space for all of us massage therapists. And I want to do that.
Stop it. I have mascara on.
We got all fixed up for this. Don't do that, Julie.
Thank you, Julie. That was very sweet.
To wear mascara.
Thank you.
That's exactly what we're trying. That's what we've been trying to create.
Well, and that's, I think, the most important thing. If you come from a space of love and good intention for your practice, whether it's a massage studio or a different type of business, if you're coming from a good place and you have good intentions to help people, and to make maybe life a little easier for others because of what you've learned and the struggles that you've been through, I think that's just it's such a nice thing, and you will be successful if your intentions are good and you're passionate about your work, right? And I think most of the successful massage therapists that I know, and you could probably attest to this too, are the ones who are the most passionate.
Yeah, very much so.
Without a doubt.
Yeah. Well, and we see it in our little classrooms too. The passion for more knowledge and the passion to help their clients and having that craving to learn as much as they can.
Yeah. I love it when they come to a class with like 2 specific clients in mind. I love that. I was that therapist because I was like, I don't know how to help you, but there's a class coming. Like that was me, And so cute when they come in and they're like, so I have this client and this is why I'm here. And you're like, okay, this person, they're going to pull out all the stops if it's 10 clients or 1. And that's the therapist that we want to work with. That's the therapist that's going to elevate the profession. Mm-hmm. And that's the person we're excited to work with.
Well, and you touched on something that is to the core, I think, of how we actually came up with our name is from the heart. Like that's how it started. We knew bodywork education was the end of our name, but we didn't know the first part. And we kind of are nerdy and we wanted like letters that matched on either end.
Wouldn't it be cool if the monogram looked neat?
Because we're girls, whatever. And so we were going through so many E names.
There are a lot of interesting words that start with the letter E, by the way.
Google, I had to look some of those words up. I'm like, what did I even mean?
She was to me list, and I was like, is she trying to impress me? Like, what? Nobody knows what that means, Amy.
Is that English? And so we kept coming back to, we really are educators from the heart. That's where it starts for us, is the heart. And so, okay, well, let's go to the chakra, heart chakra. And of course, then we loved the beautiful heart chakra symbol. And we were looking at the list of gems that the heart chakra needs. And emerald was one of them. I'm like, okay.
Got it.
Yes. I love that. I mean, I spent about one evening with a good friend of mine who's in marketing. That's her specialty. That's her job. That's her corporate marketing job. And we spent one evening just doing like what do you call it? Like a whiteboard where you just write down all the words, and it's just random words that mean stuff to you and what you like and what you don't like. And it was so funny because I can totally relate to that, notion of not knowing what you're going to call yourself, right? It's kind of an identity crisis, right?
Yeah.
It's a big deal for raising your child. You don't want her to be teased for the rest of her life, right?
And you want her monogram to look good.
Yes.
It's a thing.
Yes, girl, you gotta look good. I mean, I remember spending the evening with my friend Erica, and hopefully Erica's listening to this, and just dumping all these words all over this page. And I fell asleep with the notion of handcrafted therapy, because the whole idea was a customized therapy. And I just couldn't get that phrase out of my head because it just resonated with me. I wanted something that represented a customized, something that's created for you, and it's different every time. And then I wanted therapy in there because I serve a purpose, and usually the purpose is the person is in pain or needs some kind of therapeutic help. So that's what happened with my name. But I just think it's so cool how people come up with their names, because it's just so interesting. And, some people have no problems. Just, this is my name and that's it. She is who she is. But it's an interesting process. But I love the fact that you really embrace the idea that you're passionate about working with other massage therapists. You're working from your heart, and that's really come across in your business model and the way you treat your clients, the way you treat other people. I'm sure it's in your classroom. I haven't had the pleasure of taking one of your classes, but I will soon. And I'll tell you another trick that I do, and I think I mentioned this in a previous episode as well, which is when I get kind of tired of massage and I'm ready to, I don't know, I've had a long day or I've had a long week and I'm just tired of rubbing on people. I'm like, this is just, ugh, I have to go to work again. And I don't do that very often. I usually try to wake up with the attitude, today's massage day. It's the best day in the world. Let's go out and have a great day. But every once in a while, every one of us goes, I have to go to work. And when I start that mentality is when I sign up for a class. So the next time I have that mentality, I'm going to go to emeraldbodyworkeducation.com. When you guys are describing creating your own business, I mean, it's just to the heart of why I'm opening the store. It's all the same reason. And I think that's why we're successful, because there is a passion and a love and such an embracing feeling around what we do together. I'm just so thankful to have met you and to be a part of your world, because I think there needs to be more people. And I think there are more people like us out there. And we need to all get together and have a big hug, especially after the pandemic, because it's been a struggle for us empaths and us massage therapists and us business owners. I mean, it's a struggle for everyone. I don't have any doubt about that. But I feel like for people who are empathetic, I mean, the pandemic was brutal. Small business owners, brutal. Massage therapists, brutal. I mean, and we have come out of this on the other side. And I'm realizing that it's because of people like you guys. Because of, and I'm going to categorize myself in that too. It's because of you guys, it's because of me. We all, and this is really cheesy, and we've heard it 1,000 times, but we're all in this together. We're all on this rock floating. Thank God for gravity that we haven't just fallen off, but we're all on this planet together. I mean, and what's the use of trying to compete with each other when we can embrace each other? We're all human. We're all in this to just make life better. I mean, Massage is an awesome, awesome gift that we've been given to be able to physically touch people, but it's bigger than that, right? I mean, you know this. It's bigger than
Absolutely.
that. Anything, nuggets of information or anything you want to share with the massage therapy community?
Well, I guess we are always open to feedback. I mean, that's kind of what I feel like I want to say right now.
Yeah.
Whatever classes that you're not seeing, we'll try to find it and bring it here. If our mentorship is not doing for you, let us know and we'll see if we can figure it out.
We love to get out there and find the stuff that people are looking for. So if we're not providing something that therapists in the community are needing or looking for, tell us and we'll figure it out. It's that simple.
Yeah.
Feedback.
I like it. So I know Ashley, my podcast manager, I'm sure has magically done the work for us to make sure that you can find a way to provide Miss Amy and Miss Christina feedback. And you can always give it to me and I can pass it along as well. But I'm so grateful for you both to be on this planet and to be in my network of people. I'm just so glad that you guys exist. And thank you for being born.
Ditto.
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
we love being a part of your realm also. So thank you for your time and for the opportunity to talk about us.
absolutely. Well, I am so grateful again for your time and thank you for your input and your expertise and your opinions and your just beauty and love and passion. Thank you for everything. Thank you so much for joining me on the Handcrafted Therapy podcast. I would love to hear from you. You can email us at podcast@handcraftedtherapy.com or you can come by the store. It's at 3303 North Central Expressway, suite number 240 in Plano, Texas, 75023. Or you can connect with me on social, Instagram, Facebook, #HandcraftedTherapy. I'm Julie Alexander, and I wish you a very happy and healthy day.